What's up, guys? Beastgeek here again. Welcome to the next episode of Satisfactory. Now, this is going to be episode 4. Now, yesterday, I had some slight technical difficulties. I was attempting to make this episode yesterday. However, due to some reasons I'll get into in just a second. One, I forgot. I didn't realize I accidentally hit the stream button. So there is a VOD on my Twitch of pretty much what we're going to be doing today already. But I didn't like the way it turned out. So I scrapped it and just going to make another video for it on here. Now, before we get started, there's a question I would like to ask of you. I started looking into the analytics of my last couple of videos, and it seems like most people only watch about 3 minutes of my videos, and just curious of what I could do to change that. Like if it's to make an intro and outro, if it's to slower my pace because I'm going too fast, if it's to go faster. If it's just, things, just leave a comment. Let me know. Not big of a deal. Just, figured I'd be a little curious. Anyway, so, as we went into that VOD, that kind of bothers me because like an hour and a half, like an hour, 20 minutes, I didn't realize I was streaming. It's pretty stupid if you ask me. But anyway, so what we're going to focus on today is getting coal. Because power is becoming a problem, like majorly. So if you look around, here I'm going to camera view real quick. I have gotten a fair share of the trees and shrubbery around the area. Not everywhere, but a decent amount around the area. Just to keep this going, to like do a little bit of AFK work, all that good stuff. And while we do have a decent stash of it, this does not last as long as you would think. Like at all. Like it goes pretty fast, especially with how much we're using it at the moment. So coal is essentially our next to-do list. Now, on my last episode, we started doing the automation for these things, the reinforced plates. Now, I realized shortly after that episode that I did my math incorrectly, and long story short, we were able to do we were making enough screws to do 2 of these at a time, so making 10 in total. This is making 5. This is making 5. And all I had to do to fix that was to come over here and add a 3rd line of these plates. Now then, I used, so this line of plates is going over there. I then use the rest of this iron over here to make, to make rotors. I think it's rotors, hang on. Might be stators. I think it's rotors. I forgot. Hang on. I think it's rotors. Come on. Yeah, rotors. Alright, making 4 of these a minute, so that's good. However, in the VOD that we did, we realized that, well, not the VOD, excuse me, but while I made this, I realized we're creating too many screws and too many iron rods. So we're making 120 screws a minute, but we only need 100. We're making 30 rods a minute, you only need 20. Now, my hope was to, once we unlocked overclocking and underclocking, which we'll get into in just a second, we would be able to overclock this a bit and make like 5 of these a minute instead. That doesn't work like that, so we're going to have to underclock, which we'll get into that in just a second. So what I'm going to do is we're going to make a MAM, because while yes, we do need to get into coal, we also need to get into the MAM research, because power shards are something we're going to need a decent amount of ASAP. So let me come over here. I forgot they're not in my inventory. My bad. Real quick, if you notice that my speech is a little off, this following, sorry, this past Thursday, the 13th, I had my wisdom teeth taken out. So it's kind of, I'm not able to pronounce stuff as good as I'm supposed to be able to, but it's fine. It's not like, I'm not like hurting or anything to talk, so it's fine. It's completely fine. We're fine. This is fine. So I'm actually going to use all of this real quick to just go ahead and get as many things research as possible, because basically eventually this MAM right here is going to be very useful to us. So we're going to go ahead and research this. So the main thing that MAM allows you to do is, hang on.
This fruit, dubbed the barrel nut after its distinctive color, is compatible with the human digestive system and has been added to the object scanner. Further research is available.
All right. So eventually, this MAM is what this MAM is gonna allow us to do is allow us to unlock different things to help us move around, which is very useful, by the way. It's also gonna allow us to unlock. Hang on.
This fruit, dubbed the paleberry due to its tendency to stay light in color even when ripe, is compatible with the human digestive system and has been added to the object scanner. Further research is available.
All right. It's also going to allow us to eventually unlock things called alternative recipes, which basically allow us to make things cheaper, which is going to be very useful in the future.
This semi-slug, now dubbed power slug, is early in its life cycle and has retained only part of its potential energy storage capacity, giving it its blue color. Power slugs are capable of extracting latent energy from their surroundings, including through a form of photosynthesis, and preserve it in their porous semi-crystalline shell over their lifetime. This explains why they rarely move after having found a suitable location.
So basically what that means is using slugs, we can craft things called power shards, which will then allow us to overclock our machines, basically allowing them to make more faster. The only problem is that does mean it then takes more more resources at the same time, and also more power, so do keep that in mind. So what we're going to do is now I crafted that because I knew I was going to need it. We're going to unlock this overclocking thing, if I can. Hello? There we go. Luckily this doesn't take very long.
Overclocking development completed. Power shards can now be inserted into all buildings to increase input and output speed. Underclocking is also possible. Note: power consumption of overclocked buildings increases exponentially.
Cool. I'm also going to go ahead and do these. I don't have everything to do this with, but I'm just going to go ahead and do them anyway while I'm here.
The crystalline mineral was a previously unknown variation of quartz, with uniquely large and flawless crystals, normally only found in synthetic quartz. The industrial application of this mineral will follow that of its synthetic counterpart, specifically in communication and exploration technologies. This unknown chemical element was in reality an unusual mixture of solid sulfide and sulfate materials from which sulfur can be extracted. Sulfur's primary use lies in fertilizers, which we have no use for. Instead, this element enables access to more volatile obstacle clearing and pioneer defending tools.
Alright, so basically what, if you look, so in quartz, this will allow us to get glass, like for windows and stuff eventually in the future. It'll also allow us to get a different type of rebar, which is basically a type of ammo for guns and stuff in this game. But we're not there yet. We're not there yet at all. It also allows us to get silica, which is used for other things, also glass and stuff. It's also going to eventually let us get blade runners, which basically lets you like move faster pretty much. It's very useful. And then sulfur is where you get into like the novelist, which is essentially like bombs pretty much. and like gunpowder, which we'll get into much later. Just wanted to go ahead and get those kick started real quick. So now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of go on a search for some more slugs, because we're going to need them for things and stuff. And then I will be right back. Okay, so I only got 2 more blue ones, but that should be good enough for now. We don't really need any more than that for now. Now, there are different colors. So where's it at? Over there, there's like a yellowish one. There are like purple ones as well. But right now we don't really need those. Those are more useful in the future. But they also give you like more. I believe the yellow ones give you 2 power shards per, maybe. I don't really remember, to be honest. But we really only needed a couple. So now what I'm going to do with these is I'm going to fix these. Now really I don't need the power shards for this. If anything, I needed the opposite. So what I'm going to do with now that we can actually underclock, we're going to underclock some of these. So this is only needing 10. This is producing 15, so we're going to make this make 10. So now that you can see that we've done the underclocking, overclocking thing unlocked, this is now open, allowing us to change how many we want made per minute. And the more of these you put in, the more you can overclock. But do keep in mind that also increases your power. So do keep that in mind. So that's 10. We want this to make 25, I believe. Yeah, 25. 25. So this just needs to make 25 as well. And then I'll probably shut this off the way the backfill like undoes itself. And then I think this one's working just fine anyway. Now what we did need a power shard for though is this over here, because if you remember correctly, this is only making 30. This needs 45, so we're going to put one in here, in here we go, and then make that 45. Alright, so now this should eventually catch up. And then the last thing we need to underclock is this over here. Because again, if you remember correctly, if anyone watched that VOD, I feel so bad for that. We attempted to overclock this, but it just didn't work out, so we're going to underclock it actually. Not this, per se. We're going to underclock these. So, with these making 40 each, 80. We only need 20 from this now, because that'll be 100. And then, so that tells us with these, so that's from how many? 10, 20, 25. So this just needs to be making 25 instead of 30. So we can make this one 10. And then make this, hang on, I gotta, 25. I'll probably have to recheck this. So 25 going into 10, 15, yep. And then that's making 25 a minute, needing 20, 10, 10, I mean 25, yep. And then now we gotta change this one over here as well. So this needs 20. This is making 30, I believe. So we can dumb these down to 10. Alright, because I don't like having all this yellow, making everything stop. So this can be 20, I believe, right? So 10 and 10. So yeah, 20. And then now we combine 20 and 25 to make 45. So now we're going to dumb this down to 45. Alright, so because of that, I'm going to turn this off for a while to kind of let this backlog get rid of that. And then while we're waiting on that, we're going to come over here, because the iron thing that we turned off a while ago should be about ready to be turned back on. Hopefully. See, this is where like a jetpack and all would come in handy. We'll get to what that is at the top of my screen here shortly. Some of you probably already know that, I would assume. Yeah, see, this is still back, or was still backlog. I'll wait a little bit longer. So, now, in order to unlock coal, right, there's something we gotta do first. Because coal is not until phase 3, excuse me, or tier 3, sorry. And in order to do that, we have to do something called in order to do that, we have to build the space elevator. So, between episodes, I built this over here. I don't know if you noticed it or not, but I built this solely to make the space elevator. I made it to where there should be 2 platforms on each side, front, back, sides, all that good stuff, in case we needed to build around it or anything. So a neat thing in Satisfactory is you can press, now this is for PC, I don't know how it would work on like a console with a controller, but with keyboard you press H, which puts it excuse me, in like a hologram mode, where you can then hit your arrow keys to move it around wherever you need it. Because remember, like I said, it's supposed to be 2 on each side, so this needs to come to the right a bit more. As far as forward as that could be. Uh-oh, did I do math incorrectly? Okay, I lied. It's not quite 2 on each, it's a 2 and like a little bit on each side, which is fine. It's slightly more than 2 on each side, but that's okay. That's close enough. Then 2 on this side as well. We're gonna build that. Alright, so now this needs smart plating. Now luckily it only needs 40, which isn't bad, but it isn't great either, if I'm being honest. But basically that means we need to come over here and basically pull from these 2, because to make smart plating, let me grab one of these. In order to make smart plating, I'm going to build it. I'm going to build this kind of weird, but for those who saw the VOD, will see why I'm building this way. We're going to need 2 reinforced plates. Remember, we're making 10, so that's okay. And 2 rotors per minute, which remember, again, we're making 4, so we're still good there. So what I'm going to do...
Project assembly initialized. Congratulations, Pioneer. The space elevator will now automatically connect with the Project Assembly orbital platform. Project assembly is divided into phases, each of which require the delivery of project parts, such as smart plating, via the space elevator. Subsequent phases unlock access to new tiers with more advanced technologies to construct, automate, explore, and exploit. It is time to be honest. This project is part of the Save the Day program, the largest united undertaking in human history, destined to save us all. Earth is in peril and only Fix-It pioneers offer hope for survival. Fix-It is counting on you. Humanity is counting on you. Do not let Fix-It down.
I won't, I promise. We don't do that here. Alright, so now I'm going to use a Mach 1 as well. Yep. And then now this will slowly build and make those for us. Because remember, right now we only need 50. We will need more later. But 50 is all we need now. Now we're going to check on how this over here is doing. Alright, so what I might do is real quick, I'm going to let this backfill release itself while we're waiting on those 50 to kind of you know, make time go by a little faster. So I will be, actually, this isn't taking as long as it normally did. To probably we're doing a lot. Regardless, I'll be back once I get this underway. Okay, admittedly I was a little impatient, so I went ahead and just kind of took all the iron and all out of these. I'm out of line. I don't think I took the iron out of this, but basically I just went ahead and took like the iron bars out of those. Hopefully kind of gave it a little bit more of a... It's weird, there's not even any iron in this. It's just so packed up. But maybe that'll fix the yellow issues. I'll probably swing by here every now and again to like, you know, work on it more off cam maybe. Just wanted to fix it being yellow. But now we're gonna come check. I know for a fact we don't have 50 of these yet. So while we're gonna do that, I want to look at that marker that I have over there real quick. We will look into those as well. Those are way more useful later on in the game, but we'll look in those momentarily. Alright, now I can turn this back on. There we go. Excuse me. Actually, you know what? We're going to go ahead and grab this. So these are called Mercer Spheres, and they're very useful for a multitude of things. But the main thing is eventually we're going to get into something called, what's it called actually? I actually forgot the name of it. Oh dear. Essentially it's like, what's it called? Dimensional storage depot, excuse me. That's what it is. Which essentially allows you to put stuff in your inventory at all times without needing to grab it. So we're gonna pick this up. Now this might be a little loud. Hopefully not. I'll look in post.
Look through the window
But
and witness a thread.
A little creepy.
The astrobiologist Dr. D.M. Mercer was the first to recognize the presence and probable nature of these alien artifacts. These chain-melted state spheres are named in his honor. Each sphere emits a unique signal. Research it in the MAM to establish locally appropriate classification and application.
We will. Trust me, we will. Alright, let's see how our power is doing. See, look, we had to what, over here? See how long that didn't last? That's why we gotta get power up and running with coal. Now, I already kind of have an idea of where I want to do coal. If I know I didn't stream it or anything very much, but if y'all saw my last playthrough of Satisfactory, y'all will remember that I had a coal thing out in that ish direction, maybe somewhere over there. I'm kind of thinking about doing it there. Now, these are crash sites. These are actually very useful for more than one thing. One, they have a lot of like beginner parts you can use. Some of them have more like late game parts, but some of these have pretty normal like early game parts and all. I didn't realize, when did they add that to the game where you can dismantle the debris? I don't remember that being in the game, not gonna lie. But that's useful. That's very useful actually. This was gonna need power. So some of these need things to open. Some of them don't. Some of them you can just open right away, but some of them need like power of various quantities of power. Some of them need items that you can craft. Some of them need other things. But this one just happens to need power. Which, if y'all remember, I had that blueprint for biomass for my last playthrough for the power things for these. Came in very handy. Very handy. Alright, that'll work. Come on. I'm really looking forward into getting Mach 2 of these. Alright, that should be good. So now we can open if I did it correctly. Here we go.
Damaged hard drive successfully acquired. All pioneers are contractually obliged to preserve and secure any recovered hard drives for analysis in the MAM, which may result in benefits to the Fix-It mission. Speculation as to why there are crashed freighters in your Fix-It designated zone is discouraged as specified in your contract.
So, like I said, they must have added this in one of the newer updates where you can dismantle these things, because I don't remember this being in the game my last playthrough. But I do like the fact that not only does it allow you to do that, I don't know if you've noticed, now this was already in the game, I just failed to mention it earlier. Whenever you dismantle something, it'll show like that hot bar in the middle of your screen, letting you know what you're about to get from that dismantle. It can also be used to tell you how much of an item is in your storage facility, so do keep that in mind. Again, I don't remember that being in the game whenever I was playing last time. Could be that I just overlooked it or something, but I don't remember it being there. Alright, so now we are going to come back over here and then go back to the MAM to do things and stuff. I need to have one of these like permanently. Now, another thing that's really neat with these MAM machines is like, let's say you're researching something but like need to go somewhere else. You can begin the research, dismantle this, and then like let's say it takes 10 minutes or something. Set a 10-minute timer or something, or it will also notify you on your screen somewhere letting you know it's ready. Then you can build another one wherever you're at and it'll still work, and that's per player. So like if you're playing with a group of friends and they do the same thing, all they have to do is wherever they're at, build another one, bam. It's really useful. Alien technology, here we go. So we'll look into these later on. This is actually something we need to get into as soon as possible as well, but we're not quite there yet. Alright.
Mercer sphere analysis completed. Established local planetary signature of massage 2, AB, B, in the local Mercer sphere signals, allowing them to be tracked by the object scanner. Mercer spheres can also transmit data between specific.
Witness our scripture. Witness our windows. Have you come to defile our shrine? Sing us a song.
Arguing the existence of intelligent alien life. While Fix-It has figured out the method, all of the original data is still untranslatable.
Cool. Like I said, those Mercer spheres are a little ominous, if we're being honest. Alright, cool. So now with these hard drives, so I'm going to hit scan a hard drive. This does take a little while. It takes about 10 minutes, so we're going to come back to that. Like I said, I can dismantle that, and then it'll let me know when it's done. And then I can plop one down wherever I'm at and do it again. Very useful, by the way. Very, very useful. Okay, that's still not as good as I was hoping. I was hoping to be more than that. Alright, I'm still seeing yellow flash over here, so what's going on? Okay, this is just barely getting enough iron, so did I math incorrect? 15, 10, that's 25. Alright, no problem. I can just plop a little bit in there, and that should fix it, maybe. Yeah. No biggie. Maybe. It's just because of the splitters. I don't have the higher tier splitters is all. Alright, let's say I take these out. Does that make it look a little better? Maybe? Maybe, possibly? Alright, let's see. 100. It should slowly start making its way to 100%, maybe? I don't know. See, the problem with this is getting halved, so, well, no, that means that, oh, is it because this is getting the, I see. Mm-hmm. Okay, well then we can make this one the, actually, okay, we can make this one the 15. And this one the 10. And that might fix it. So what it is this needs to be a priority splitter or a smart splitter. We're just not quite there yet. And that way it'll send all of them, because right now, the way these work, so right now the way these work is it sends half this way, half this way. But it doesn't really do it very efficiently, obviously. But with smart splitters, you can then program it to send all this way, and then any excess this way. Now that does make it take a lot longer to speed up, but it's also slightly more efficient in the end. But we're just not quite there yet. That's the problem. Okay, maybe that fixed everything. Admittedly, we might have been better off just over, like making more than we should have been. Which, if that is the case, we'll fix it. We'll fix it in the end. No biggie. All right, let's see what this is looking like over here. 27. I was hoping it'd be more. I'm really looking forward to having coal. Now, another problem with coal is we're going to need copper. The reason being, right, is because with coal, you also need water. With water, you need pipes. Pipes is made with copper, in this game at least. So we're going to need copper at least somewhere nearby. So luckily, like I said, with that horrible stream video I did yesterday, we did at least know. So if you hit M on the keyboard, I'm actually going to get rid of this as well because we've already looked at it. It brings up the map. So if I hit, and those coal nodes that I was talking about are over in this general area-ish, somewhere over here. So if I bring up V, go to copper. So there should be one like here-ish. Yeah, there we go. So I'm going to take a marker. I'm going to mark right there. I'm going to mark it as copper. And what purity is it? Normal. That's fine. We don't need much. We just need enough to get to there and back. I'm going to select icons, stamps, that. Normally this is where I would like change the color and all, but we're not going to do that right now. Apply, and then once we get coal, I'll do the same thing to coal. Alright, that's actually good to know. I feel like that's actually the wrong copper node. Maybe not. Maybe not. Alright, let's see how these are doing. If they're not done yet, what I'll do is I'll wait until these are done. We'll be right back. Okay, so yeah, we've only got like 18 more, so I'll just wait till these are done and we'll be right back. Oh, cool. Alright, so we just got a notification that the MAM is done. So while we're waiting on those, let's see what's up with the MAM. Alright, cool. Alright, so. Ooh!
Hard drive analysis completed. Alternative recipe selection available in the MAM.
So with this, you can either get alternative recipes, or you can get like inventory slots. Now, don't get me wrong, inventory slots are really good. However, I want to double check, see what this does. So, oh, that's so much better. That's so much better. So, this gives for 25, it gives 100. So for 25 iron ingots a minute, it gives 100 screws. Now, to be clear, there are better screw alternate recipes in the game. This, however, isn't bad. So I am actually going to select that. So that's good. Well, yeah. So that's actually really good. That means there's a lot over here we can actually fix because of that. But we'll do that some other time. Okay, we just need 7 more. So I guess I'm gonna just wait until these are done. And like I said, be right back. Okay, finally we've got our 50. So now we're gonna come over here. Now, if you probably noticed, there are ways you can belt stuff in from the sides. I believe it's on both sides. Same thing. So this is meant like to be as your hub. So like if it eventually we will probably need to do that, but at the moment we're good. So we're gonna put these in, load it.
Welcome to the Project Assembly Pioneer Progress presentation. Congratulations, the Phase 1 project part shipment is now ready for delivery. On delivery, Phase 1 will be completed and the distribution platform will be constructed. After completion of Phase 1, the technologies of Tiers 3 and 4 will become available in the hub. Highlights are automated power, steel production, personnel transportation, and many more. Completing Phase 2 of Project Assembly is your next main objective. New project parts will need to be produced and delivered to the space elevator as you have done previously. Continue to construct, automate, explore, and exploit for a better fix-it future.
Sure do. Alright, now we're gonna send it. Alright, so now you can look up. I wonder how if I can follow it. So this is actually my first time watching. Okay, well technically second time due to yesterday, but for like, you know, watching this. So it goes up, you know, space elevator type stuff. Oh, that's so dope. And now, the more phases we do, the more this will be upgraded. I have actually never upgraded it to the max because I've not finished this gameplay. So, I'm honestly kind of curious to see what it's going to look like fully maxed out. But we're very far away from that. Like, very far away. I cannot stress that enough. Super duper far away. We have a lot to get through first. Alright, so now, how long? 50 minutes. Maybe. It will be good. So for, So for our next thing, but we're not quite there yet. So we're going to need 1,000 of smart platings.
Phase 1 of Project Assembly completed. This is only the beginning of Project Assembly, the first step towards saving the day.
Hang on.
You have performed adequately so far. Reminder: Not only is Fix-It saving humanity, it is saving all of Earth, including kittens and puppies. It is statistically likely that you appreciate the continued existence of kittens and or puppies. Continue the work for their sake. Continue the work for Fix-It. It is time to start the work on Phase 2 of Project Assembly.
Again, not in this episode. But we've got these going at a very slow pace, but we're probably just going to let that do its thing for a while. I know a good place to automate these. And this, admittedly, I forgot where automated wiring is made from, but I'll probably just dismantle these things and work on that. Now, what I'm going to do is, first thing is come over here to the home hub thing and go to coal power. We should have a majority of the things we need for this, not quite all of them, but pretty close. So I'm gonna go grab some more of these real quick from down here, because coal power is like our main source, our main thing we need like ASAP. Now I can't stress this enough. I know I say this like every episode, but everything you see here, like this setup, this setup, this setup, except for maybe the space elevator itself, but all of this is temporary. It will inevitably, more than less likely, go change somehow in some way eventually. Not today, not tomorrow, but eventually. So do keep that in mind. It's not meant to stay. So the coal, so I do want to clarify something. There is a coal node like in that ish direction pretty close by actually. The only problem is it's like nowhere near water, if I remember correctly. And that means we would have to like pipe it over here and then pipe water from over there or something. And admittedly, I'm just not trying to do that. Where I'm wanting to build it already has plenty of water and all. So we're just going to build it over there.
Milestone reached. Power production can now be fully automated by burning coal, which has been added to the resource scanner. Water is also necessary to run the coal-powered generator and will require a network of pipelines to be transported from a water source. To assist with locating and identifying water, Fix-It has compiled this guide. Water is a somewhat reflective liquid and it may have thick vegetation growing nearby. To test if something is water, try touching it. If it is not solid and does not corrode your suit, it is probably water.
Alright, so another thing is eventually we're going to get into these things here, like basic steel. That's how you make the versatile framework. But this will probably be next episode because it's going to take... Ooh, blueprints. Oh, blueprints are so great. Again, probably next episode we'll worry about that though. Because this coal is probably going to take a majority of this episode. So what I'm going to do, first of all, I'm going to hit V, go to coal, then we'll hit map, as in M for map. Again, I don't know what those things would be on a controller for a console or whatnot, but these are the ones that I know of. Actually, there's a coal vein right there. But these are the ones I know of, so we're going to put them over here. Coal. I know there's like variety over here, so variety question mark. I'm not good with spelling. Okay, I'm not good with. Oh no. Okay, there we go. Put one of these, and then we'll do that. Infinite, large. Apply. Alright, cool. So, as you probably saw in this one, there are vehicle transports, which allows you to transport things from one place to another. I've actually never messed with those, so I have no idea how good or bad those are, but we will not be getting into that now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to build from here to I'll probably go this way or something. That way, like, the platforms match. That way I know exactly where and how to get to where. But first of all, we're going to need more plates. Where is our plates going? For the... There we go. Here? Yeah, here. For the amount of words. Hello, hello, hello. Oh, for the amount of foundation. Thank you. There we go. We're gonna need. All right. So what I'm gonna do is, like I said, I'm gonna make this real quick. Probably starting here-ish, maybe. I don't want to be too close to this though. Not that. Okay, not that close either. Okay, maybe here? Maybe? I might just need to go through that little bit right there, sadly. Alright, well I'm going to make this and I'll be right back again. Hopefully this doesn't take too long because it's already almost an hour long episode. Regardless, I'll be back when I have everything that I should hopefully need. Okay, well, so bad news, I actually ran out of concrete making this. But good news is So we are actually where I needed to be though. So right down there, all that water, and then over right in that area is where all of those coal nodes. And if I remember correctly, actually, there's a copper node like right there, and an iron node. So we're actually kind of set. So what I'm actually gonna do is, I lied. Is it because my inventory? No, it's because I ran out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to head back to the base real quick, grab more concrete. That way I can build the rest of this out. And once again, be right back. I'm going to grab this first. So as I mentioned earlier, I already kind of had a spot planned for the versatile framework. And that's this area here because there's a decent, if I go to this, go to iron, there's a decent amount of iron here. Yeah, see all of that, and there's even some concrete, I believe, right? Not that. Limestone right there as well, for if we ever need it. So this is where I made the first little frameworks in my last playthrough. So that's probably what I'll do again. And see, as I was mentioning with the coal, the water I used for the coal, my other playthrough is, I believe, right there. And then, the coal would be over, it's over there, yeah. And, water, coal, it wasn't very convenient. But yeah, let me grab what I need. And like I said, for the third time, so sorry. Be right back. Alright, so what I'm going to do is, because we're already so close to where we need to be, is I'm actually going to go ahead and start bringing power that away as well. Hopefully we'll unlock Mach 2 power shortly, because it's very much useful. Like, very useful. We're actually going to go this way instead. There's things we're going to unlock soon that'll help us out with this part, but we're not quite there yet, as I mentioned. Oh, that sucks. Yeah, I'll be back. Okay, guys, people, when I tell you this took way longer than it should have, I mean, it took me almost an hour, give or take. It doesn't look the greatest. I know it doesn't look the greatest. I will change that in the future. I just wanted it to work. and it looks like it works. So, coal is way better at producing, at producing power than biofuel. Now, water wasn't really that much of an issue because these need 50 apiece. So 50, 100, 200. So really just 2 of these was needed. These do produce 120 each, but just bring them down to 100. Check on your pipes every now and again. Now, to be honest, why? Seriously? Okay, see, this is why we can't have anything nice. There we go. Alright, now, to be clear, these can hold 300, so technically I could have 6 of these, but we're not, coal-wise, we're not quite there yet. So, we're getting, hopefully we're going to be getting, maybe. Okay, so now coal. So if I remember correctly, they burn 15 coal a minute. I can't tell. We don't have enough coming in yet. I hate these pipes. Get through the pipes for people's sake. Oh, I didn't. I need to see it. Get here. Pete's sake, man. Pete's sake. Alright, so if I remember correctly, I can't do it. Okay, yeah, 15. There we go. So they do 15 each. So 15, 30, 60. And just so happens that the node over there does 60 now. This looks terrible. I will fix it in the future. Like I said, I wanted it to work. Now, because of the way splitters work, this will start off being pretty inefficient, waiting until this fills up, and then the next, and then the next, and so on. But come on. Now, the reason why this took me so long, right, is because I kept running out of the bare, most basic of resources. Plates, regular iron plates, kept running out of that. I kept running out of concrete and stuff. I just kept running out of everything, and hence why it doesn't look the greatest of me. Because I wasn't able to make a foundation for down there. But I will eventually, once I get more resources over here, going all that good stuff. This is my only pet peeve with building pipes above ground, as they get a little aggravating to get over. I even kept running out of these. I'm actually kind of wondering if that might fix things, though. I doubt it. To bring stuff over faster. It's just gonna have to do time, pretty much. So yeah, once this fills up, it'll this will fill up, etc. Hopefully. It'll just take time. But that is power that should really, if I AFK over here for a while, it should fix itself. Hopefully. Emphasis on the hopefully. I can't stress that enough. That's the amount of concrete. Jesus Christ. The only bad side about building these things. Like, honestly. But yeah, so as I was mentioning, these are definitely more efficient once they get like fully stuff and things. They are definitely more efficient than the biomass burners. So these create 75 megawatts per, while the biomass burners only do 30 per, so more than double. So that's always good. Of course, like I said, once they actually get to go, then they'll be more efficient. It just will take time. That's all. I didn't really give the coal time to back up. Like I had literally like just got the coal done whenever I came back. So once it backs up though, once it actually gets to where it needs to go, it'll be fine. Now this, I did make it in a way that it is expandable. What I'll probably do is, if I do expand it, like change the way this piping is to go under. That way it's more transversible. But at the moment, I just needed it to work because we were running low on power. And so far, like I said, after some time, it will work. I was having the same issue with my last playthrough, but it just took some time. It'll work. So over here, in case you were wondering, as previously mentioned, for pipes, let me just go to the thing. You need the middle bit, which is copper sheets. So what I did whenever I got over here is I made this, which, you know, as you could probably guess, is a copper sheets thing. So what I'm going to do real quick is actually upgrade this storage in case I need to AFK. There we go. Because I haven't got the Mach 2, the industrial storage things yet, but we will get there eventually. So, what I'll probably do is in between episodes, like kind of AFK over here. That way this can get up and going the way it needs to be, instead of being half idle all the time. That way this will get more flat, pretty much. Because, yeah, it's getting kind of annoying. But, you know, gotta do what you gotta do, right? But yeah. Once this gets, it's really just this last one mostly. Okay, it's a lot more than the last one. It's just, you know, gotta wait. And really what I could do, just because, I mean, is really I could like add another one to this line and like make them all Mach 3 or Mach 2s, excuse me, and just, you know, say to heck with it and do it that way. But I'm not going to do that. One, because materials, and two, that would require me expanding this, which I don't want to do it this episode because it's already a long episode. So like I said, I'm going to AFK this a bit and let it do its thing. Hopefully it'll be fine. It should be fine, that is. And that will be buttons. There we go. That will be basically signing off.